João, 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 Diogo, and Francisco. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hey.
Could the Joãos please stand up? Okay, João, João, and João. And could Francisco rise? And finally, our man Diogo. Did I say that incorrectly?
Diogo.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's get them some mics. So we're gonna share down here, we'll share over here, and there's another there. Now, you are NAPA today, but previously, if I read correctly, you were called Men on a Couch.
Yes, that's true.
Let's start with the first name.
So we started this band in 2013 when we were in high school. Me and João.
The first João.
The first João. And we started the band with two other friends we had like in the same class. We had this. We each of us played a different instrument, and we like wondered why not start a band. And we created that band and started singing in English, and that's why that name "Man on the Couch" came first, because we rehearsed in the basement of my grandmother, and there were a lot of couches around, so we were always sitting down or hanging around. That's why we were called Men on the Couch. But then we switched to Portuguese when we started singing in Portuguese.
Ah, so the couch was shunted to the side and NAPA was born. Tell us about this branding. Why NAPA?
We wanted to change the name to something Portuguese, first of all, because Guilherme started singing and writing in Portuguese. And we wanted something that... This was a struggle. I keep saying this is the hardest thing. This is harder than the Eurovision, to pick a new name for your band. It is very hard. We had a list of like 200 something names. Some of them were taken, some of them were like Brazilian bands names that we didn't know. We were searching on Spotify, what about this? And there was already one.
Yeah, so, it was really hard.
Yeah, so we were recording one day for our second album, and the owner of the studio was like, how about NAPA? And like, okay, that goes to the list. But then it started making sense, because in Portuguese it's synthetic leather that is used to cover couches.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's beautiful.
We had that connection with the previous names.
Yeah. So and also it's like a short name, rolls off the tongue. We like it. We like the cabbages as well.
Fantastic. Now, did you keep any of Grandma's sofas for the museum, for the biopic film?
The basement is still there, intact, with the same couches. So maybe, I don't know, if this goes well, maybe it will turn out a museum. But we don't have intentions to do that. We will keep the basement there. I think my grandparents are happy that we were able to, I don't know, create something out of that basement. And we are really happy that they enabled us to make a lot of noise there for a lot of years.
And you, of course, are from a very special place in Portugal, the beautiful island of Madeira.
Yeah, there's the flag there.
Madeiran flag.
Shout out to Madeira. Yes, gorgeous.
Are you from Madeira?
Oh, beautiful.
Ah, okay.
Madeiran.
Great.
Nice.
Please tell us, what is special about Madeira?
I think what is special about Madeira is first of all, it's covered by sea. In every
Not covered.
no.
We are not underwater species.
No, not covered, surrounded. Otherwise, we couldn't breathe there. It would be very difficult. But it's surrounded by water. Any place in Madeira, almost, because it's not that big, you can see the sea, and it inspired our way of living, and also for Guilherme to write this beautiful song. And the food is really great, like any place in Portugal also. There's a famous drink there, poncha. We like it a lot. And also our espetada is also great. That is cubes of meat in a steak. It's really great. It sounds disgusting, but it's...
Do we have fans of skewered meat? Yeah, one person.
There we go.
Please tell me.
You have to go to Madeira.
Yeah.
Well,
That's good. That's good.
That's really good. But yeah, that nature that Madeira offers, that that amazing views, that warm weather. It's what inspired our way of living and what shaped our lives, I think.
Yeah, and I think he can confirm, like a day in Madeira is like you go for a swim in the morning, then a hike in the afternoon, then back for a swim, then dinner and probably a party. So you have all of this in one day, you know, that's Madeira.
Yeah, that's it. Because it's so tiny, you can do it all in one day if you want to. If you want to, you can just chill as well.
Yeah, it's a very fun island. Yeah,
It's a very fun.
Brought to you by the Madeira Tourist Board. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it seems like we are doing publicity.
Yeah, we are not being paid, but
We're doing it for free.
We just love it so much. Yes.
Yeah, it means that we like it a lot.
And Francisco, I want to bring you in now. On social media, the band shared a black and white photo from Madeira of early settlers or people living there in the 1850s, perhaps.
True, yeah.
Could you tell us how that relates to your song Deslocado?
Yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's a very old picture from we found it like in a museum, right? Yeah, one of the first pictures taken in Madeira, and it shows two young boys, I think, just looking to the hills, and I think you can also see a bit of sea. And I think it represents a bit of the kind of the being able to, nowadays it's so easy to travel and to leave the island, but back then it was not an easy thing, and people that were from Madeira were there in Madeira, living there, and there wasn't the opportunity to travel and leave the island like there is now. Nowadays we can do that, and we did that with kind of 18 years old, and it's a very common thing for people to leave the island, either to study or better opportunities in the mainland Portugal. So it kind of related in that sense that now we have that opportunity to leave the island and explore our beautiful world. But back then people were kind of locked in the island and lived the island and experienced the island in a different way. I don't know if you want to add something to.
No, that's basically what you said. The isolation back then was really punishing. If you wanted to leave, you had to leave with a boat, and it took a long time to go and to come back. And maybe people who left maybe never came back, or came back many years later. It was like the communications was also really difficult. So it really represents a difference between us in the modern world and them in the 1800s. How things have changed, but although we can see the world. And we can be here and we can travel to everywhere with a plane very easily. We still feel like Madeira is our home. So that's why I think we picked that photo. Like maybe back then they didn't know how lucky they were to be born in that island, because maybe they weren't that lucky back then. But now we have the opportunity to see the whole world, and we really gave value to the place we were born.
And do y'all still live in Madeira, or are you on the mainland?
No, we also live in Lisbon.
And in the song, I hear both sadness and joy. I hear nostalgia. What is the mood that you're trying to create?
Like, I think it's maybe both. It's like a gratefulness for being born there and having our roots there. Also, of course, sadness that we can't be there all the time, but happiness that we know that we are able to come back anytime we want, and we will be received with a warm heart there.
And we learned that at Festival da Canção, when people from Madeira were voting in droves. You're hugely popular in the archipelago. Did you expect to win Portugal's national selection?
Yeah, we didn't expect to win. We went there to do our thing, to share our song, do our best. And you can see that in our faces in the television, because in the last 5 minutes when they were counting the televotes or the televotes, like 5 people could win at that point. So we were like, okay, it is what it is. But then some votes were allocated, and we're like, okay, hold on, we might win it. And then we did, and I think our song is about Madeira, is about the Madeiran history. So, and we're representing inside of Portugal, Madeira, of course. But we quickly realized that the song of the history of leaving your birthplace to go to university, to go to another country for better opportunities, to grow up in that sense, it's not just a Madeiran story. In Portugal, you have like 3 or 4 big university towns, and they're filled with, barely anyone is from there, you know, like most people travel from their birthplace to go there and study. And yeah, it was, people realized it wasn't about Madeira, it was about that story.
And people have responded, topping the charts. You've been viral on Spotify in multiple countries. Diogo. Were you surprised by that kind of universal appeal?
Yeah, of course. I mean, having so many people listening to the song and relate to it, and many people also covered the song and were translating the message. And obviously we were very surprised that many people resonated to the song and to the message, because as Ron said, it's not only a Portuguese story as well, it is a European story, because you have to, sometimes you are, you have to move the country for so many reasons, you know, love, to study, to grab better job opportunities. So it was really cool to see those numbers, so many listeners, and yeah.
It belongs in a movie. It's so atmospheric. I want to pivot and talk about your staging and the rehearsals you've had here at Eurovision. Could one of you describe the visuals? What are you trying to create on stage?
Yeah, I think we're trying to tell the story through the visuals of the whole thing, without revealing too much, of course. All I can say is that
they've seen a bit already.
Yeah, they've seen a bit already. Yeah.
And some
so
photos.
Yeah, we're going to use the video to try and translate that message into an aesthetically pleasing viewing experience. But at the same time, I feel like the formation we're in and we're going to be in, and we want to convey what a concert of NAPA is, what a NAPA concert is, because that's our home, that's our stages that we usually do. This is probably the biggest stage with the most lights we'll ever have. But yeah, we want to transmit what a true NAPA indie rock concert in Portugal is as well. Yeah.
And João, you changed your clothes, not today, but from the national selection to Eurovision. Why the costume change?
The costume changed because in the first, in Festival da Canção, we had clothes from Constance Intrudo, that is a very good Madeiran artist that is known artist also, stylist, yeah. That is known internationally, and we were very glad to wear her clothes, but the clothes that we wore were clothes that she already made, and when we discovered that we were the winners, we contacted her, and we wanted her to make specific clothes for Eurovision. And also she thought of a thing that is Madeira embroidery, that is a very unique thing from our island, that is in the clothes that we are going to wear. And also another artist that is Lourdes de Castro, that has a fantastic paintings with flowers and with some images of shadows. She encapsulated all of that and made into our clothes, and I think they are really beautiful, and that's what made a distinct from Festival da Canção to the Eurovision stage now. Yeah.
And Francisco, there are 5 of you. How do you start the creative process? Is one of you the main lyricist, the main musical composer?
We have a genius in the band. No, but yeah, usually Guilherme is a composer for the band, so he writes the music. We add some different experiences between the first album and the second. The second one was made during a very strange time in the world, was during COVID, so the experience was a bit different, and Guilherme kind of showed up with the album almost ready, and we just adapted.
I had a lot of time in my head.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the process nowadays. So Guilherme composes and writes the songs and the lyrics, and then we kind of contribute in our own way. And in the band, when the music is shared between us, we kind of influence each other to make the music as great as possible, and to everyone to be happy with it.
Does one of you work as the manager? You're like, we need to go. We got to get to the club.
We have a management.
Yeah, nowadays we have...
We have two managers.
We have an amazing team with us.
A round of applause.
Yeah. Round of applause,
Thank
yes.
you so much. Thank you.
Nowadays we have the blessing of having people around us that help us do this and make everything possible. But yeah, when we started, it was kind of an effort from everyone, and we did it for love, and we just have fun doing it. So it was kind of easy to make things happen.
And whose idea was it to enter Festival da Canção?
I think it was maybe a collective idea, because we submitted our song last year, not for this year that we won last year, to Festival da Canção, but we were not picked to participate. I don't know why. But it was something that it was great, because this year they invited us, and our song this year was much stronger than the last year's version, so it was all good. Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't want to compete with Yolanda.
Yeah,
so.
yes. We wouldn't have won, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, people often look at betting odds, they read newspapers, they go online, they see comments. How are you dealing with all this buzz, everything going around you, people talking about NAPA?
It's quite a different world than we were used to before winning the Festival da Canção. The amount of media and press and things around Eurovision really caught us by surprise. We didn't know, we weren't too deep into this Eurovision world. But yeah, of course we see the things that people are talking about us. But we try, regarding the odds, we try to not pay too much attention to that, because I think when the performances start, from what we've been told, things change a lot. So
Everything can happen. So.
yeah. So we are doing our best to make the performance as good as possible without thinking about we should grow in the odds or what. But we just do, I don't know, the best that we can. And I think that's our way to go, at least.
Yeah, and also, sorry, no, but just to share, to be able to share this experience and the less good comments online, because we are 5, so we just share it. We laugh about it. We can make jokes, so it makes it easier. I imagine if it was one person, would be a lot harder.
Sometimes comments that are so ridiculous that we just laugh, you know.
Send a screenshot to the WhatsApp group.
And we say, look what this person said. It's sometimes it's even funny, and it makes the experience more.
We learned that there are people for everything.
Yeah.
Do you have an example of a comment that you remember?
No, we have one was we did a little bit more version of Deslocado with some Madeiran musicians and the choir. Everybody's like, no, you should bring those on stage. This one was so much better. I'm not going to explain. You can only have 6 people on stage. So stuff like that makes it funny.
And I want to open the floor to questions in the audience. So do raise your hands. Oh. Absolutely, blonde ambition, 3rd row.
Yes.
She's a regular now.
Hello, my name is Emma, and I come from Switzerland and Denmark, and my question is, were the couches comfortable?
Very good.
Well, yeah, we made the couch our whole identity, so they were pretty comfortable. Yes.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
And front row, blue t-shirt, Yolanda hat.
Olá, é prazer em conhecer-vos.
Oh, hello.
First of all, I would like to thank you for your song because this year I come from Italy, but I actually moved to Barcelona for work, and so I really felt, the feeling of deslocado pretty closely. And so my question for you is, if you had to pick one Eurovision song of this year and make it yours, like your version, what would it be?
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of cool songs in this Eurovision, but I think we all agree that maybe the Ukrainian entry is one of our favorites. It's almost also very similar to our style. I think it would be a fun challenge to cover that song, but something like indie rock Bara Bara Bastu, maybe it was. Maybe it would be the way. I don't know.
And we have a Portuguese flag coming soon in the dinner.
Okay. Hello, I'm
Hello.
Juan from Venezuela.
Hello.
Neighbor country from Brazil.
Yes.
So I just wanted to ask you if you have feel any support from Brazilian people back there,
Yes, we have receiving a lot of messages from Brazilian fans. Also because there are a lot of Brazilian people living in Portugal, and they are also deslocados. They are living away from their home. A lot of people that sent us messages like, now I live in Portugal, and this song, I don't know, moves me so much because I miss my home country as well. I think we receive mainly a lot of messages like that.
Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm half Portuguese.
Hello.
Yeah,
Great hat.
I need to ask the question of all time: Porto or Benfica Football Club?
Ooh,
Benfica.
I'm not gonna.
Benfica.
Today we have a big match, right?
Yeah,
Big
today
match
there's a big
today.
match, Sporting against Benfica, to see
Who's gonna win the championship today?
Any more questions? Hands up. Front row with the hat. We are running over right now.
Yep, thanks. My name is Alexei. Originally, I'm from Minsk, but I had to permanently move to Warsaw, so thank you for a song. It's something that I can definitely, absolutely relate to. Also, not being able to come back home, it hits me quite strongly. So thank you for that. Well, my question would be a bit more unrelated to that, but anyway, so what was your opinion of the interval act with João Borges and Maria João during the grand final of Festival de Canção? Because it absolutely blew my mind.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering whether your mind has been blown as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. We were also blown by that performance. I think he nailed it. He and Maria João. João Borges is actually also from Madeira.
Yes.
So shout out to João Borges if you're watching this. And we are good friends with him because we've known each other for a long time now.
He actually already played in a concert with us.
Yeah, he played in a concert with us once, twice.
When we launched our first album, the first concert we did on the keys was João Borges, our good friend.
Yeah, and that version of the Nemo song was crazy.
And I think we have time for one more question. Woman, glasses, fourth row.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Joanna.
Hello.
Well, I'm from Portugal. I just say when you won, I was in Erasmus in London, and when I show your music to my friend that was there, she just cried for missing home. And my question is, how did it felt like to step on the Eurovision stage for the first time for the rehearsals?
Yeah, I think I can speak for everyone when I say it felt amazing. Like I said before, it's probably the biggest stage we'll ever play, and with the amount of lights, the amount of video capabilities, everything, and the feeling of this 2 months from the ending of Svel de Canção to 5 days ago, to actually step on that stage, it was almost like a weight that got out of our shoulders. Like, okay, finally we're here, everything is like we intended. And also a big shout out to the whole production of the Eurovision, because we feel like they work to make you feel as comfortable as possible. Like everything works like Swiss clockwork, I guess. Everything works really well, like you have specific time to do everything, everyone is working for you, and it feels really good. And it also takes a bit of that anxiety, that little, not fear, and anxiety in general that you have. You feel so at home and at ease that takes a bit of that away.
And also, just to add everything that he said, and also it's very unbelievable. You're like, how did I get here? You know, you're on that stage, you're like focused on what you have to do, like yeah, in this part play this, you know, we're talking, and then when I'm alone at the piano, and I'm thinking, wow, how did this happen, you know? Yeah, there's a part of that also.
Yeah, it's a really crazy feeling to be here.